MrBeast is the world's biggest YouTuber, and he recently hit
100 million subscribers!
To celebrate, he had 100 of his subscribers compete for a private island. In this interview, I'm going to be talking about the behind the scenes of a MrBeast video and what it's like to be in one with Johnny, who made it to the very end of the competition in MrBeast's biggest video yet. How did you get selected for the video? Like, what was that process like?
There were a couple ways that people were selected. The way I was selected was I was in his gaming channel Discord. The way he pulls contestants for that channel is whenever he's gonna film a video, whether it be Minecraft, GTA, whatever, he just takes 100 random people that are online in the Discord. They sent over an announcement and it said, we're looking for contestants for main channel videos. If you'd like to apply to potentially be a contestant, fill out this Google Doc. I fill it out immediately because I was right there. I'm like, dude, that'd be awesome. Because everybody dreams about being on one of his videos, but no one ever thinks like it could actually happen. I don't have a chance if I don't sign it. It had to have been about a month or two later that I got a call from the casting team. They verified information with me, like that I had a valid passport, was I over 18 years old, and if I had a vaccine. And the only other thing they asked me was, how do I feel about open water? So I'm like, okay, we're going somewhere in the Caribbean. And then it was crazy, I didn't hear back for like 10 days. Like, man, it's probably not happening anymore. And they're like, hey, we've been busy shooting another video. You're still gonna be going, we'll send you another email out. And at that point I was like, okay, I think this is actually gonna happen. That's how I got selected. Other people through buying merch. Like the wide variety of people who bought merch, they hand selected people, and then just I think some other giveaways.
I bought the 100 mil shirt, so yeah, maybe I'll get in a video.
I was hoping they'd give us some of those. I got to keep my subscriber shirt that they gave me. My Squid Game pants got lost along the way because we took them off on the pirate ship because we just wanted to be in our swim trunks if we were gonna go in the water, and we just never got it back.
So I brought 100 of my subscribers to compete in 4 extreme challenges. Last one standing wins this island.
One of my favorite things about the whole trip, there were 100 people there. I got to meet a good majority. I'd say at least got to talk to half the people there. I met a girl who had been swimming with sharks since she was 10 years old, and that was her job. One of the guys in the final 10, he's a storm chaser. One of the older girls, who I'd say she's kind of living my dream because she's a traveling nurse and she's traveled the world. That's the life I want to have. Like, I want to travel, I want to see everywhere. So a lot of cool people I got to meet.
Did they ask about that stuff to find like interesting, good on camera people, or was it just?
I believe so. A lot of people, they had a casting call and they got to know him. They asked a couple things about him. I didn't have one of those. Something that they did ask me in the Google Doc I filled out. They asked for our social media accounts, so like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube channels, any of that. So they had a general gist of who we were, and I believe that's like something they used, so they weren't getting like people who wouldn't be good on camera, people who weren't bland.
Yeah, you actually had my 2 favorite lines in the whole video.
What was that?
One of them was,
Welcome, have you ever been on a pirate ship before?
Not once in my life.
And then, yeah, we're about to look for the treasure or whatever you call the last challenge. Yeah. And you were like,
I know exactly where Jimmy's gonna hide it.
Where?
He's gonna hide it in the spot that I find.
Right.
That's exactly where it's gonna be. Oh yeah, I was like, oh, I know exactly where it's gonna be. It's right where I look. Yeah. And fortunately, it was not.
Just a little bit more about the process, if you can speak about it. Like, how did y'all get there? Did they fly you out? Did they?
They flew us all to Miami, because obviously with 100 people, we were coming from everywhere. So yeah, they flew us all to Miami, and then once everybody was there, they ended up able to fly us out to the Bahamas.
They paid for your ticket and stuff, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So pretty much, I think the only thing I ended up paying for the whole trip was like a snack for my plane ride there, and then I paid for like another meal at the airport. But everything, we were put at resorts that had food included and everything. They fed us and kept us hydrated. They gave us clothes we needed. So yeah, we didn't have to pay for anything, thankfully.
How long was the video? Like the whole process, like once you got to the Bahamas?
It was 2 different days of filming. The first challenge ran longer than we thought, and so they weren't able to film as much the first day as they wanted to. And I think it was originally going to be 2 days of filming anyways. It just took them. The fire was longer than what people thought.
The first challenge is simple. First 50 people to start a fire and light their torch, move on.
Yeah. So it was 2 days of filming.
How long did the fire take?
For some people, really quick. Unfortunately, I think the last person finished at just about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it was a long time, and I was one of the last. I think I was the 46th or 47th person or something like that. So it took me at least 2 hours.
According to our estimates, it's going to take them on average 20 minutes to start the fire.
When we did do the fire challenge, it was on a windier day. So I think just conditions made it longer than what people expected. The wind was brutal. It was definitely, it was exhausting. I'll tell you that.
He's not giving it away.
Do none of you want an island? Then start a fire faster!
What's the hardest challenge? Was it the fire?
The fire, for sure. It was very mentally and physically exhausting. Not many people got it early on, but there definitely were a few that got it early. And so hearing like, oh, 10 people have made it, 20 people have made it, and you're just like, man, I'm not even getting close. And I was getting sparks the whole time. I just never could catch. I was like, man, I am just, like, I'm like, is this gonna be possible? Like, am I gonna get through this? A lot of people, our hands, and we're getting a little cut up because we're sitting there. I mean, we're banging rocks together. You could pinch a finger. You'd accidentally hit your log with your knuckles. So that one was by far the hardest.
This is the easiest of all the challenges.
It kind of makes sense for a MrBeast video for the first challenge to be like,
well, we had to get rid of half the people. It shouldn't be...
it's determination based.
Exactly, and it shouldn't be simple and fast. The whole process of getting there took us forever, so for the first challenge to be done in 5 minutes would be absurd.
Just one challenge, 50 people lost their chance to win this beautiful private island.
Question only a couple people have asked me is like, oh, what color was your tiki torch? My smoke torch.
The color green. That's gonna be the color of money.
Honestly, I'm upset it wasn't on film because I have no idea. Like I said, I had heard there were 5 spots left before I made it, because I know that. I know I was in the last 5. So when I finally all of a sudden saw a fire under me, I immediately grabbed my torch and shoved it down. As soon as I saw that the fuse had caught and that it was gonna be smoke, I stabbed it in the ground, like jumped up, like hollering and screaming and so excited, and ran to the boats. I didn't even turn around and look at what color it was. I kind of blacked out for a minute there. I was all of a sudden I had a fire and then I was on this boat and I don't know what happened in the middle.
You were like on a high too.
Yeah, and I feel like after that I kind of coasted through them. My stress level was a little bit lower. I got the first one over with.
See that ship right there, Tariq?
Yeah.
That's challenge number 2 and a literal recreation of Squid Game.
Squid Games was, I wouldn't say it was a breeze for me, but I definitely didn't think too much about it. I was moving at a decent pace and I was moving safely when my feet were staggered, so I never really felt off balance. I just had to make sure I didn't let too many people get ahead of me.
See that pirate ship over there?
Yes.
That's challenge number 3, and we're literally throwing people off the ship.
I was frankly the smartest person on the planks, apparently.
For our next challenge, we have 10 planks behind me. And attached to each plank is a rope. When we cut the ropes, 5 of them will drop you, and 5 of them won't. Who wants to go first? I'll do it. Come on up, sir. You can pick any of these 10 planks. Just stand on the end of one of them.
This is a lot of good.
All right, right there. Are you sure about this plank? Everyone, salute him.
It's been real, y'all.
Chris, cut the rope. Oh! All right. Be bad. Congrats. Don't fall off the boat. Now all your odds are actually worse.
But I knew going into it, if I go first, it's a 50-50 shot, no matter what. I knew if if 2 or 3 people went before me and they all fell, I'd have way better chances. Right. But if 2 or 3 people go ahead of me and they all make it, my chances are awful. So I was like, I'm gonna take the 50-50 chances. I'm gonna go with my lucky number 3. I got this far, I'm gonna be on camera because they're gonna watch me either fall or make it. When he I think it was Chris cut my string and I didn't fall and I was there, I was like, for a second, it took a second to hit, and then like all my excitement from like the past 3 challenges all came up at once. And so after that, knowing I'm in the final 5, I get to go step foot on the island, and that's why I got excited. I got up, hugged Jimmy. So then obviously the next 3 or 4 behind me all got it correct. It is less than 2% chance that the first 5 people all got it correct.
There's only 5 working planks and somehow they picked 4 of them.
There's only 1 safe plank left.
What challenge did you not like?
What challenge I not like? The whole, when Gabby was the name of the girl, she was the one who had to choose 10 people to leave.
Everybody, do you see that raft down there? There's only 10 seats in it and there are 20 of you.
I need you to eliminate half the people. Whoever you want to go, just pick half of them.
No, you're joking.
And that was rough. And she really didn't want to do it. She was very reluctant. She ended up randomly picking, because she wanted to make it fair. In anybody's situation, it's hard to take possibility of an island away from a bunch of people you've been competing with, people you've got to know over the past day or 2. I mean, my least favorite, just because it was very by chance and it was a very stressful situation for everybody except, I mean, even for her it was a different kind of stress. But for us, we were just kind of like, there's nothing we can do about this.
Bro, it's right there to my dream.
If any of you win, you owe this to Gabby, because she's going to eliminate you.
That's the final 10.
That was like a bullet every time she said someone. It's hard. And now that we have 10 people, that's the exact amount that could fit in a raft. Follow me.
Well, it was one of those things where it was like, we had just gone through red light, green light, which took us a while to take, and it was very, like, pressure in the moment, like you can't screw up. And then like as soon as it's done, it's like at the time we had to process it was very limited, because all of a sudden it was like, oh, we just went from 50 to 20 people, and now we're gonna knock it down to 10 in about 5 minutes. Not that I hate it. I mean, it's one of those things. It made it much more exciting.
Yeah.
Because it was a part where our fate was not in our hands. That one was definitely tough. And the one that's kind of stuck with me the most out of all of it is probably the fire, because it simply took me so long to do it. If it had been like another 3 minutes that I didn't get my fire, I wouldn't have made it. And after that, it's like a huge relief. We're past the first challenge. Half the people are gone. And then I kind of just got in a groove of going through the challenges and just getting them knocked out.
Yeah, because your chances doubled every challenge, basically.
Yeah, that was something fun we talked about. Like towards the end when it came down to the final 5 of us, we were like, man, like we got here, it was a 1% chance. And after the fire, which felt like a huge relief, it only went to a 2% chance. And then it was like a 4% chance. Once we were on the island, it's 5 of us, or a 20% chance we could get that island. So I think that was a big reason none of us could take the cash buyout. How much we had gone through to get there. It just wasn't worth it.
And now we have one final challenge to decide which one of you wins the island. Let's go! But before we do that challenge, I have a proposition. I'm gonna hand each of you a check for $50,000. Here you go, here's 50 grand. Which one of you subscribed the latest? All right, come over here. Do you wanna burn this $50,000 and compete for the island, or keep 50 grand and leave? Keep it. Yeah, keep it.
It's a lot. I'm a competitor, I'm not using that.
Oh my God, all right. This man
Going for the island, baby.
He just lit 50 grand on fire.
That could be the biggest mistake of his life.
How did it feel throwing $50,000 into a fire?
You know, so I had to go first. And you would think that'd make it difficult, but really for me going first, I was like, it took me 2 seconds to figure out my decision. I knew I couldn't take the buyout. Because immediately my thoughts was 50,000 would change the rest of my year or 2. But the island would change my life. And getting as far as we did, I didn't go through all of that to take the buyout and always wonder what if I'd won the island. Yeah. So I think that's what would have stuck with me more. Obviously, it's painful not walking away with $50,000.
Biggest mistake of his life.
But I think it would have been more painful for me to take the $50,000 and eventually when it runs out, be like, man, what if I'd won the island and got a little bit more? So
No regrets.
No regrets. And I think if I got to choose last, if I watched the other 4 throw the money away, I might have thought about it a little bit longer. Yeah, I was wondering. I was really thinking at least one. I thought one person would take it. But
it seemed like one of those moments that I've heard MrBeast talk about where he's like, he almost doesn't want to put it in the video because it seems fake.
Are you gonna say no to $50,000?
We're going for the island, baby.
Oh my goodness. No! Wow. That's crazy. I just saved $200,000. Am I gonna save another 50?
Earlier today, I was like this close to losing. I stayed in, and everything else has been luck so far, and I've had great luck. I want to keep trying. I'm gonna.
No way. No way. They all just said.
I'm throwing it out.
Oh my God. Only one of you is winning this island. Oh my God.
yeah.
Because that was like such a crazy thing for everyone to pass up 50,000.
And I think with the stakes as high as they were.
And for the final challenge, we have our 100 million subscriber play button. Taped to the back of it is the deed to the island. I'm gonna go hide this, and whoever finds it first wins the island.
Did you have like a strategy for the treasure hunt at the end when you were searching the island?
Part of me even thought, like, I don't think it's gonna be across the island. I think it's gonna be close to where we were at.
I'm going to hide the play button. Keep them distracted, Chris. I'm gonna drive really far away so they think we hit it far away, but then I'm gonna come back and hide in front of them.
I started far away, and I wish I didn't, obviously, because I knew it was close. But I did find a shovel at one point, and I started using that to hit sand so I wouldn't have to just dig in everywhere. I would just walk around and bang piles of sand that I saw where a case could fit. So that was kind of my strategy, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was hide and seek on a massive island. We were finding a briefcase. I didn't even remember what it looked like.
I don't even know if I remember what the freaking box looks like.
So I was like, I know it's a red briefcase, and that's all I'm looking for. It can't be more than one on the island.
I don't regret throwing 50 grand in a fire, because I'm gonna find this cake.
My biggest mistake was I spent a lot of time off the well-worn path and looking in like the rough and like the bushes and the weeds.
I mean, he trolled y'all.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If you look to the left, you'll see where I buried the play button. Notice how there's no one around it. Great success.
You know, MrBeast, like, what was he like?
I got a little bit of time to talk to him outside of just being on camera, and he was one of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. When we weren't filming and he wasn't concerned about like getting everything filmed and making sure everything looked good and was good on camera, he was checking up on us, making sure we're hydrated. It was very hot. It was middle of July in the Bahamas. I mean, it was was very hot. He made sure there was always waters going around. He was making sure we were all fed. Like if we needed anything, it was just very
accommodating.
Exactly. Like he knew from his perspective, it wasn't just him filming a YouTube video. It was we were his guests, and he was going to treat us that way. I mean, honestly, there's no bad words I could say about him. He's very tall.
How were your interactions with all the other guys?
I didn't talk to Chandler very much. I talked to Chris a bunch, and he's a very extrovert person in general. So he was very cool with talking to all the contestants. He was walking around like making jokes, just like he does on camera. Like that's his actual personality. Yeah, super cool. And then one of the other people I really enjoyed talking to was Tyler, who hadn't been on. He's his head producer now.
It's because our goal is to build 2 towers and then connect it here for more structural support.
And he hadn't been on a video in probably 2 years because he wanted to focus on producing. But I got to talk to him for a good like hour or two one day. He was talking about like the process and everything they've gone through over the past couple of years, and like how things have changed and evolved, and how they went from making these like silly little videos of like him counting to like 1 million or 10 million.
770, 97,771, 97,772.
To like taking 100 people to the Bahamas to win an island. They're all regular people, and it just felt really cool to talk to them because they're open talking to us. I mean, they were hanging out. They weren't just hiding in like some room as like the famous people. They were super cool to be around. They were actively engaging in conversations with us.
What about Nolan?
After I lost an island, I had nightmares for over a year. This will haunt you for the rest of your life.
Nolan was a big goof, and he was definitely one of the funnier guys. Just like Chris, he's just the same way in person. He made a joke with me at one point. We were on a boat headed to the island, and he saw my hat that I'm wearing right now, my Tightline disc golf hat. He's like, "Oh, you're a disc golfer?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you'll be great in the final challenge." And obviously he said sarcastically and jokingly because we weren't told about the challenges until mere minutes before we competed them. Right. Whether it be the fire, Squid Games, planks, the island. I mean, we didn't know about that till right before. So Nolan was messed with me, making me think like, "Oh, really? Like that'd be sick if I had like an upper edge on the like last challenge." But obviously just messing with me, just making me think, because we have no idea what we're doing. We're just freely going around like getting this crazy experience of competing in random challenges.
Look how beautiful this beach is.
This is it.
And one of you is winning it. The other 4, I don't know.
Do you know roughly how much the island's worth?
I don't know. I know what it was bought for, and I know how much they put into it. Can't say that, unfortunately.
That island, I mean, just in total, we probably spent like 3 or 4 million. No, I think we spent like 5 million on that video because it just was a lot of work. And then we import a bunch of sand, we import a couple hundred trees, and then we built, we basically build a little house, build sheds on it. And then it's like $800K, and you put like 2 million in, and then you got like a really nice looking island, which is still infinitely cheaper than if you just bought one of the $10 million ones. So yeah, usually that's how we do it.
Before I knew anything about the island besides having walked on it, seen it, and stuff like that, I was thinking it'd go for probably a little over $1 million.
Like, how much was the island worth?
So I think she ended up getting around $1 million out of it.
The person that won the island, they didn't keep
Mallory?
it, right?
No. She immediately sold it. The problem is if you want to keep an island like that, when you get it, you have to pay taxes on it as if you just purchased it.
So we usually give them a couple options. It's like, or usually 2. Do you want the prize, or do you want me to sell the prize and then just give you the money once I sell it? And a lot of people choose the latter, but some people will take it and just sell it themselves.
So if she wanted to keep that island, she would have had a couple $100,000 in taxes to pay right then and there. She sold the island, and however much she gets for it, she'll pay income tax on that next year when she files her taxes. So
I mean that's still life-changing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was really more. It's cool to say you own an island, but at the same time, it was more about what the island was worth.
Exactly, and the video.
And the video, yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things where you had to have a lot of money before going into that video to be able to keep the island. And the top 5 of us all being 20 to probably 23 or 4 years old. I'm not sure what our age range was.
How old are you?
I'm 23. So obviously none of us could have had the funds to keep the island. It's not financially possible. The final 5 of us, we got a bit of time, but between the planks and getting to the island to like hang out and chat, we were all talking like what we do with the money. And the cool thing is all 5 of us had great reasons. It wasn't just like, if we won the island, I'm gonna take the money and go like on a huge vacation, I'm gonna spend it all. Like
Lamborghini.
Exactly. Like I was gonna pay off bills, like pay off my girlfriend's car. I was gonna help a couple small businesses, some disc golf businesses. But so like Mallory, who won, she has, I think, 4 sisters. So she wants to help them all get through college. Kimmy had all these like bills to pay off, like her parents are in debt, and like they've been going through a tough time this year because she's in a big family too, and her parents are struggling.
$50,000 couldn't even pay for a year's worth of tuition.
Oh my gosh!
We all had good reasons. None of us were there selfishly. Like, we all had good reasons for what we were gonna do the money with. That's why even when Mallory won, like none of us. We were obviously had like part of us. We were upset. We didn't win Island, but we're more happy for her than we're upset for ourselves. Because we knew no matter who it went to, we're so happy for her.
That's awesome.
It's life changing.
That's really cool that we're on good terms like that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, there was no hate, no bad blood.
I got it!
That's upsetting.
Oh, she won a great island.
Congratulations!
I feel like this doesn't even feel real. I think this is the craziest video you've ever done, and the fact that I won it, like, it doesn't feel real.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
We all burned 50K in front of each other.
Like idiots.
Did you win anything? Like the
Yes.
non-winning contestants, did they receive any prizes?
Yes. As the video went on, the first group, it says they got $1,000. The first 50 out. People after Squid Games.
As a thank you for coming out, we're gonna give all of you $3,000. I appreciate it.
I'm not sure if I can say how much we got. It increasingly got more. I can say that.
Okay.
So I can tell you, I didn't walk away with $50,000. Didn't get that much. But yes, we got $, and it will be taxed. Just like I said, the island, like she'll pay taxes on that next year.
In the whole process, the video, the challenges, what surprised you most? Like, what was the most unexpected thing that happened?
It's hard to say. I honestly can't say Gabby's thing where she had to pick 10 people. That's not something that surprised me very much. I was surprised by Squid Games.
Now it's time for challenge number 2, red light, green light. Because Squid Games are most viewed videos, so why not bring it back?
I was surprised, like, they're bringing this back? Like, we're doing it again? Like, they already did this in a video. But then it occurred to me, one, we're on a boat. That was cool. And then once I thought about it, we're like, well, Squid Games was the biggest video he's ever made. One of the most successful videos. So it makes sense that on what should be his next biggest video that will ever be filmed. So it makes sense that you bring back one of his biggest videos and incorporate it in this one a little bit.
How did it feel, or how does it feel right now to be in a video that had over 50 million views? Because you got a lot of screen time.
Being in the final 5, I definitely got more screen time, especially towards the end, because, I mean, exactly the halfway point in the video was when there were only 10 of us left. So the whole second half I was in it. One of my worries was going in. It's like, man, if I go out the first challenge or second challenge, like, will I even get to be in the video, or will I just say I was there? The biggest thing was I've had people that I haven't talked to in like 3 or 4 years reach out like, dude, you in a MrBeast video? Or like, dude, is that you? Like, that's so crazy. And I'm like, I haven't heard from you in like 4 years. Like, so really the word I've used for most of everything about the video is that it was surreal. It just, at times, like, it doesn't feel real, but it is, and it just feels very different than what I would have expected.
How did you expect it to go before you got there, and how did that compare to what actually happened with the whole ordeal?
Expectations was just kind of like, whatever we do, you have to be ready for it on the fly. Like we knew we were gonna get told right before, and we just have to go for it. My expectations was if I can get past the first challenge, it was gonna be a little less stressful for me, which it was. And then I was like, if I can get to top like 20, I'd probably get screen time. And the expectation at the end, I was like, man, from the middle of filming to the end of filming, the whole time I was like, I can't wait for this video to come out. Not just because I'm in it, because I knew what everything was, and I was just so excited to see how it would get put together. And because I just know, I mean, I've never watched a MrBeast video where he didn't. It wasn't entertaining to watch, and they didn't do a great job of putting everything together.
What was the most interesting thing that didn't make the cut, like the final video?
They could have made a movie out of this video, like a 3-hour movie. I mean, there was so much footage, so much took longer than what you see. A lot of behind the scenes that I wish I could tell you more about, because it was just crazy how everything happened. They put only 15 minutes. I thought it'd be a 20 to 25 minute video because it was such a big video for him. But I was very surprised he cut it down so short, and he's a very smart person. And something else cool to talk to him about, and you see he's talked about in several interviews and podcasts, is when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, videos too long, you can see where people stop watching.
But I've just spent so many years just studying what does well. I would just obsess, study retention charts. You know, we'd scrape a million videos, see where the dip is.
His number one thing is retention.
Yes, he has some of the highest retention of any YouTuber. And so he knows if he makes too long of videos, people will stop watching. That's why he's such a big YouTuber, is because he is, and on the set, he was all, you could always see him thinking, and you could always see him like analyzing and trying to make things better and bigger and like just put on the best show for everybody.
What matters is that people have a good experience.
Yeah. But all in all, man, it was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. I would always love to go back for another video, a redemption video, of course, but most insane experience anyone could ever go through. It's something you can't understand unless you were there. People should know, like, it really is, like, it's not an exaggeration when people say that he's a nice guy or a genuine person. It's not an exaggeration when people say that it's very real and it's not scripted. There's no scripts about it. It's all random. It's his subscribers, people who support him. He's randomly helping them with their lives. It's very real, and it's cool that I can share a story for people to understand that.
Thank you for making it to the very end of the video. If you enjoyed it, you can subscribe below. Leave a comment in the comment section. Any questions that I forgot to ask in the video. And if this video hits 100 million likes, I'm going to be interviewing MrBeast.